National Parks has announced numerous interventions in place and underway at its 21 functional national parks in preparation of the 2024 festive season. Of primary focus is safety and security interventions, infrastructure refurbishments and activities visitors can undertake at the national parks based across 7 of South Africa's 9 provinces. Kruger National Park Managing Executive Oscar Mthimkhulu joins us for more. Very good evening to you, Oscar. Thank you so much for your time. As we head into the festive season, many will be visiting the world-renowned Kruger National Park. You've put a great deal of focus and planning on safety and security interventions. What does that look like?
Well, thank you for having me now. And really, from SANParks' point of view, we really want to make sure that our visitors who would be flocking to our parks are really safe. And also to make sure that when they do visit our park, they really enjoy them. So part of it is really to put a strategy together and plans to make sure that they are safe, and then to make sure that these communities that are around our parks also do realize that there is a need for them to come and enjoy. But most importantly, we collaborating with partners, civil society organization, with local authorities from South African police services, defense force, and other security agencies around our parks to make sure that the area that they are visiting and the parks are really safe for them to come and visit.
And that's quite important because we know that the parks have recently been marred by crime inside the parks. I mean, in 2022, we can't forget the German tourist who was murdered outside the Kruger National Park's Numbi Gate. What operational plans have you put in place to mitigate against such?
Okay, to deal with that issue, we really have to partner with our stakeholders, which is one of them is the Kruger Lowveld Business and Tourism Chamber, but also to engage with the South African Police Services, and also to engage with other entities that are society-based organizations to help us. But most importantly, we would be also running campaigns, mobilizing communities, and also mobilizing resources for us to be effective in dealing with this. But it is important that we all are aware that the crime is actually beyond the park itself. So it becomes very important that we partner with our stakeholders inside and outside the park.
Yeah. In your efforts to have an incident-free festive season, we know that poaching is rife inside the park. What's your intervention plan in that regard?
So we've already put plans in place to make sure that our law enforcement authorities, intelligence, we're already gathering intelligence, but we're also using technology in terms of number plate recognition, so that we can flag some of the vehicles that are known that are used by syndicate. But most importantly, we're also using technology and the K9 unit. Also, we have aerial support to help us when there are incidents so that we can deploy quickly and make sure that we are able to respond effectively to those situations.
Infrastructure refurbishments are also underway as you announce all these interventions and collaborations. Talk to us about the plans there.
So the plan really is we have received funding from the Department of Forestry and Fishery and Environment to augment our budget. We're currently doing some work at Skukuza Safari Lodge, where we have some significant impact projects to upgrade our rondavels so that they are up to a standard where it's acceptable and to a standard where it can be enjoyed by all sorts of guests that are visiting the park. This includes the guest houses that we have upgraded to modern sort of standards, so that it also differ and offer different variety of experience for our guests. And I think we are proud, and those guests that will be coming to visit to the park, they will definitely not be disappointed.
What would you say are some of the activities to look forward to as you try and mitigate some of the risk factors, the crime? I mean, you make mention that crime is rife inside and outside the park.
So one of the major things that we have been looking at is how do we support the victims of crime, and how do we provide the services in terms of trauma counseling. But also, as you know, that's a capacity that we do not have. That is why we build in and engage with partners so that they are able to assist us to deal with those situations. But also we urge our tourists and our guests that are going to be visiting the park to be vigilant, but we're also requesting them to make an early bookings. They can use online bookings because that also would assist us. But we also have implemented the cashless payment system so that they can try to avoid not to bring more cash with them when they come to visit our park. These are some of the measures that we have put in place to try and mitigate and limit the opportunities or chances of these criminals that they may target them when they visit the park.
You know, as we talk about criminals, are you happy with how the cases have fared? I mean, the number of arrests that have been made, the follow-up by police, how is that going?
I think we are fortunate that especially around our park, we have a strong relationship with law enforcement agencies. And we also have successful conviction, particularly those that are related to environmental crime like rhino poaching. And I think those are also act as a deterrent for those who think that they can still come to the park. And we're effective when we are ready. So I can just promise you that in terms of our achievement and our successes, there's no doubt that we can make more arrests, but obviously we rely on the partnership and collaboration with other entities. It cannot be just SANParks alone. We rely on the provincial conservation entities that are around our parks, but also we rely on other security agencies that could assist in terms of gathering intelligence so that we are ready. And when we get information, we're able to act to that information effectively and decisively.
Oscar, you spoke about refurbishments and the money that's been allocated for those projects. I mean, what does it look like in terms of the number of guests that will be coming to the park at during the festive season, in terms of the balance between locals and those from elsewhere who will be hoping to spend some time there?
Okay, I think in terms of the visitor numbers, you know that we have been we're affected by COVID, and we're seeing some increase in terms of the guests coming to visiting our park, and we expect the numbers to increase further, particularly those that are local. As you know, that our main domestic market is really domestic tourists, and we are ready to host them. And we are seeing the numbers and people gaining some kind of interest to visit our park. And I think they do realize that what we have, we conserve and we protect for them. And it's for them to enjoy and come and see what we have.
Why should someone visit?
Well, as you know, particularly most of our park, Kruger National Park specific, is an international, well-known brand. And also in terms of the experience, you can't beat the experience that you can gain from visiting the park in terms of you being able to drive yourself. And also we offer guided walks, guided activities. I mean, some of activities that we also have a golf course in the park. Where would you get a golf course in a Big Five national park? Those are some of the activities that really entice and people do enjoy when they come to the park. It's really amazing when you find people visiting the park. They feel more relaxed, they feel more safe. And I think this is what we are all about, to make sure that they come and enjoy the safe environment.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. Kruger National Park Managing Executive Oscar Mthimkhulu joining us and elaborating there around the safety and security being a priority as we head to the festive season around the SANParks.